And back here in Cleveland tonight, another ICE protest, this time outside the West Side Market. Our Amaya Ward was there covering that event and joins us now from the newsroom with the details. Amaya, good evening.
Good evening, Russ. This is the second night in a row people have gathered in Cleveland, and organizers say that's intentional. They don't want the attention or the pressure to fade.
Here, immigrants are welcome here.
Candles, chants, and a familiar message. Don't let this fade. Protesters returned to the streets Friday night, gathering outside the West Side Market for a candlelight vigil and a march.
Because of the tragic loss of life of Renee Good, and our feeling that we wanted to be in solidarity with Minneapolis and Renee's family and community and show them we want ICE out, and we want to make sure that no one forgets her.
Cindy Demsey and many in the crowd were still processing what they'd seen and heard earlier this week.
Horror, grief, outrage, and just belief that this is happening in our cities, that it's so unnecessary that somebody lost their life. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a wife.
She says what followed only deepened the pain.
And then to see how lies were told about the way she died, and then to discredit her and to call her names that are totally false was just to, build on the rage that we are all feeling.
The visual was organized in just days, intentionally blending mourning with action.
We wanted it to be a candlelight vigil because we wanted it to have the tone of sadness along with anger.
There will and there must be justice.
Speakers, prayer, singing, and then a march, all meant to bring people together.
There's something about community because people are feeling it individually, and when you come together, it's coping to know that others share the same feelings.
And Dempsey says this won't be the last time people gather.
They're going to continue, and we will see that. And it's a way to keep her name alive because she was a real person, and we want to honor that.
Organizers say demonstrations will continue in the days ahead. Russ.
Okay, Amaya Ward in the newsroom. Thank you.
Vice President J.D. Vance said that the ICE officer who fatally shot Renee Good in Minneapolis is protected by absolute immunity. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey pushed back on Vance's statement that has also drawn scrutiny from other legal experts.
Federal law enforcement official engaging in federal law enforcement action, that's a federal issue. That guy is protected by absolute immunity. He was doing his job.
I think he also asserted that because you work at the federal government that you somehow have absolute immunity from committing crimes. That's not true in any law school in America, whether it's Yale or Villanova or anywhere else. That's not true. If you break the law, if you do things that are outside the area of what your job responsibilities require, and this clearly seems to be at the very least, this is great. At the most is what you heard people say back here. This is a problem and it should be investigated.
Of course, we'll continue to follow this developing story with the latest from protests in Minneapolis and here in Northeast Ohio. We'll bring you that on air, online, and our WKYC app.